Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
The father, Mr. Ullman, was teaching him sliders. Curveballs and sliders are called breaking balls, and are on a straight trajectory, and then they break. And then they're also called breaking balls because they're known to break elbows.
In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness. Stop. Is that true? I don't want you to understand. I want you to overstand.
Yes, sir.
That's why they pay me the big bucks. Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something. That's not gonna happen. Not up in here, not today. And boom goes the dynamite.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. James Ullman claims his son developed tendinitis after his Little League baseball coach ignored a doctor's note to let him rest his pitching arm.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
Mr. Ullman is suing Alfred Maxwell in the amount of $900.
All parties have been sworn, Your Honor.
Third, good Deputy Thomas. All right, let's play ball here, pun intended. Mr. Ullman, you're suing for $900 involving how you feel Mr. Maxwell was coaching your son. All right, Mr. Ullman, talk to me. You're not happy with the coach as it relates to your son, and you want him to pay $900.
That's correct. My son has to go to physical rehabilitation, and it's going to cost us $900.
What position does your son play?
He's a pitcher.
He's the pitcher, and his name is?
Steven.
He is how old?
He is 12 years old.
12-year-old Steven is the pitcher, and he started having some problems with his arm.
Yeah, so his throwing arm, he's a righty. He was complaining of pain. We took him to the doctor, which I have a doctor's note right here. Mm-hmm. And the doctor diagnosed him with some mild tendinitis.
Now, this is not a school team. It's a park.
Correct. It's part of the county Little League, sir.
You knew that Mr. Maxwell was coaching that team.
I did.
Did you have any issues when you first met Mr. Maxwell, or did you have any problems with his coaching style?
He was definitely an intense coach.
Okay.
But we did know
Why
about
do you say that?
Just the way he carries himself in the league. We have known him for a few years now on other teams.
Did you think that was going to be problematic for you?
I was a little wary of it.
You were?
Yeah, to be honest, yes.
All right. Mr. Maxwell, what makes you so intense, sir? Or would you even say that's a fair description?
Yeah, it's fair. I feel I'm a soft-spoken coach for the most part.
But when you're in the moment, do you bring a certain intensity?
I run a tight practice. We're talking about 11 and 12-year-olds. It's like herding cats. And so with my experience, it's like I have to run a tight ship to keep them in line and order, and I only have 2 hours of practice with them, and I do honor family time and homework and all that. So
do you also have a child that plays as well?
I do. I have an 11-year-old child on the team.
Was that what initially got you into coaching, or you just yourself was a big
I've been
baseball
coaching
fan?
my son. Yeah, I have a background in baseball.
What's your background, sir?
Yeah. I started playing when I was 5 in T-ball, and played all the way through college.
Okay.
Went to the World Series,
It's your
College World
passion.
Series. And then I played pro ball for 10 years.
You know who else is in this courtroom that has a passion for baseball? That guy over there.
All right.
He has taken me to baseball games.
Yeah.
He has a baseball collection. He's caught how many balls in the stands?
Over
have you?
12 foul balls.
Wow.
So he. This is right in his wheelhouse, right?
Yep.
Nice.
And it's a passionate sport. Mm-hmm. You know that Steven is pitching, and he had been having some issues with his arm, his pitching arm.
Midway through the season,
This was the first season working with you.
Yeah. So he's a 12-year-old, so it's his last year in Little League majors.
Okay.
And he's on a different team last year as an 11-year-old. So I was familiar with him as far as competition and knew he was a great little athlete. But this year I had the opportunity to
Work and coach him directly.
Yeah, recruit him or draft him. Yeah.
What do you think is the issue here?
My issue is that I feel like I took great care. Safety and health are number one with me with players, having my background and experience.
Yes.
And so what my concern is that the father, Mr. Ullman, was teaching him sliders. And sliders are called breaking balls, and breaking balls are called breaking balls. Curve balls and sliders are called breaking balls, and they're called breaking balls for two reasons. One, they are on a straight trajectory, and then they break and turn down or go sideways. And then they're also called breaking balls because they're known to break elbows.
Coming up on America's Court.
But what the doctor also said was he cannot be pitching for the next 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks, he was not to pitch.
Right. That is not the case, however. He was still throwing in each practice.
And later,
You understand all the ins and outs of what's considered kosher.
Yes, Your Honor.
You explained that to Ms. Williams.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because she didn't have any sort of basis. You just saw an opportunity to increase your clientele in this Jewish space.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of James Ullman, who is suing Alfred Maxwell for negligence.
You were aware that Stephen was throwing slider balls?
So we were throwing no more than 5 sliders in the backyard. It's something I had
You and
showed him.
Stephen?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so he learned the slider technique from you?
That's true, yes.
Okay. Were you aware that there is this association with sliders that Mr. Maxwell, Coach Maxwell, just indicated?
Yes, in certain cases when throwing a lot of them, they can definitely lead to injury. However, we were never throwing more than 5 to 10 sliders.
Did the two of you ever have a conversation about sliders?
When Stephen first complained about his elbow pain, we had a conversation following the doctor's appointment.
What did that conversation entail?
Well, he shared with me about the elbow pain, and then
The what pain?
The elbow pain.
Elbow. Mhm.
And
That's
when-
where the main issue is, the elbow?
the elbow.
Yes, sir,
there's
and the tendonitis in the inner elbow.
Okay.
Yeah. And so when he shared that with me, I went back to the slider situation because I had to stop Stephen from throwing sliders in practice.
You don't want him throwing them, period.
Not at all. Yeah.
And you had that conversation with Mr. Ullman.
And I had that conversation.
And
with
what do you
Mr.
recall
Ullman.
that conversation encompassing?
He did mention that, and that was after the first time Stephen was complaining
And what,
about
essentially,
pain.
we need to ixnay the sliders. We need to.
Correct, but what the doctor also said was he cannot be pitching for the next 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks, he was not to pitch.
Right. That is not the case, however. He was still throwing in each practice.
Did you convey to the coach? Doctor said no pitching for 2 weeks?
I have the doctor's note right here.
Okay. Was that doctor's note received by Mr. Maxwell?
That's everything in there. Yeah.
Did you receive?
Yes, I was aware of.
You were told you
that he had
received the
seen
note from the
doctor.
doctor saying no pitching for 2 weeks.
I just received Mr. Ullman reporting to me the diagnosis, and he said that he was to rest for 2 weeks.
And what did that mean to you, to rest for 2 weeks?
With my background, that meant not letting them pitch in games.
You made it a point to emphasize there was no pitching in the games, but what about the practices?
I gave him one practice off, and then there was a lull. We missed a few days because of rain and whatnot. And so it was actually about 8 or 9 days.
Is that accurate, Mr. Ullman? It was about 8 or 9 days to your understanding?
That is correct. He did miss a few days because of rain and the weather.
It's not a game. We're at a practice.
Returned to practice.
You have him pitching again.
I checked in with him, asked him how the arm was feeling. He said it's feeling great. And
How
so,
many pitches did he throw?
No more than 15.
Okay. Did you see that as a problem?
I did. I had just handed him a doctor's note saying no pitching for the next 2 weeks. That is a serious problem.
I get that. Why not just not have him pitch at all until that 2 week period expired?
Yeah, well, my experience is it's like PT. Is when pitchers, they have muscle memory, and it's also strengthening. So if you wait too long, then the muscles start deteriorating. We had built up muscles, his pitching muscles and muscle memory.
Had you
So it
received
was-
notices from doctors before saying no pitching for 2 weeks and then you just completely cut it off, or did you still have the pitching taking place during the practice?
I've never had this situation prior.
Okay. Because if a medical person says no pitching for 2 weeks, I'm thinking they're not distinguishing between games and practices. You have a witness here.
Yes, sir.
What's the purpose of this person being here?
He's another father on the team, and his
up, sir.
son is one of our top pitchers as well with Steven.
And what's your last name?
My last name is Rajan, Your Honor.
Mr. Rajan. And what's been your experience in terms of working with Coach Maxwell?
It's been a pleasure. There's been no problems with my son. And also, too, I just see the constant professionalism that Coach Alfred has and the care he has for these children.
Is he intense?
Not from mine. And he's not intense at all.
Sir, we're good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Mr. Maxwell, anything else you want to add?
Well, I do have evidence. Unbeknownst to me, during that 2 weeks off, Dad was actually throwing with him as well. And here he's supposed to be resting. And again, I took resting as time off and then ease him back in the last few days. Meanwhile, Dad's throwing with him.
You were still throwing with him during the 2 week period he's supposed to be resting?
The only time we threw during that period was right before his next game.
Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the gavel is going to come down in favor of the plaintiff. Now, there's something called contributory negligence. To what extent did you contribute by having him throw those sliders? Because we don't know with certainty what caused what and to what extent. I am going to rule in your favor, but you are not getting that $900. I think it's reasonable to give you $450. And I think this is an opportunity and a teachable moment for you, Coach, as well as any other coaches out there. To be clear, when a parent gives you information from a doctor and it's like, okay, so are we talking he can still practice or no pitching whatsoever? With your expertise and your background, I would think that would have been an additional question that you should have asked to prevent yourself from being liable. Judgment in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $450. That is the order. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $450.
Coach, you got lucky today. Your negligence cost my son the rest of the season and a lot of pain.
I pour my heart and soul on these kids, and I give them everything I got, and I love them.
Coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
Your Honor, I did, in fact, inform Ms. Williams of all of the rules of kosher, how to keep things kosher. I gave her a list.
This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. Caterer Sasha Williams claims she hired a kosher expert to plan a bar mitzvah and says the defendant left out crucial instructions that resulted in a meal that violated kosher dietary laws. Sasha Williams is suing Naomi Gordon in the amount of $9,400.
This case involves issues around what is considered kosher, and Ms. Gordon, you're being sued for $9,400 by Ms. Williams because in your business, something went awry, and now you feel as though Ms. Gordon should pay.
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor.
Talk to me. What's going on?
Well, she's a consultant. She has a consultant business, so I hired her to help me with my Jewish clientele.
And you understand all the ins and outs of what's considered kosher.
Yes, Your Honor.
You explained that to Ms. Williams.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because she didn't have any sort of basis. You just saw an opportunity to increase your clientele in this Jewish space.
Yes.
All right. How many times had you all worked together before this situation came up?
We hadn't, Your Honor. This was our first collaboration, if you will.
I see. And what was your expectation?
My expectation was for her to make sure that I'm crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's so that I can provide the best care for my clientele. It's a spiritual and a cultural thing, so I take it very seriously.
Yes.
This is my business, it's my name.
And you had a client, and the client hired you, and they wanted what type of diet in terms of the food?
No, the client didn't tell me specifics, just that they're Jewish and they want their party to be catered as such, since it's a bar mitzvah.
Coming up on America's Court.
I hired Miss Gordon over here
To help you navigate all
Yes,
that.
exactly.
All right, and you don't feel as though she did that to your satisfaction?
Not for $2,000, no.
This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program. America's Court is back with the case of Sasha Williams, who is suing Naomi Gordon for breach of contract.
I hired Miss Gordon over here
to help you navigate all
Yes,
that.
exactly.
All right, and you don't feel as though she did that to your satisfaction?
Not for $2,000, no.
Okay. Ms. Gordon, what say you?
Your Honor, I did, in fact, inform Ms. Williams of all of the rules of kosher, how to keep things kosher. I gave her do's and don'ts. I gave her guidelines, and I told her that I'm always here if she has any questions and she needs any additional guidance. I gave her a list of vendors that are all specialized vendors in butcher shops, produce vendors, people who supply the proper pots and pans and plates and silverware.
Why weren't you happy with her service?
Because how was I to know that in the kitchen I was to have the meat and the dairy separated into different pots, different utensils? I had told her prior to the event that there will be people from Israel and that there will be a rabbi there, of course, because it's a bar mitzvah.
Was there any sort of contract that was?
I have text messages of her telling me what to do, but...
See, oral agreements are enforceable.
As somebody who's not
Ms.
Jewish...
Williams, oral agreements are enforceable. The reason that we have written agreements is because when you get this he say, she say situation, the court has to be the one to figure out what's going on. So I see a text here. I'm going to give you this quick rundown on the basic guidelines. Who wrote that? And this person says, awesome. That's you. First off, you know the obvious ones. No pork, no shellfish, no mixing meat with dairy. That includes poultry. You're telling me that you paid this woman $2,000 and all she does is send you a series of texts?
Oh, no. We had a conversation where we went over everything, but she failed to add that I had to do that in the kitchen area as well.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. This is America's Court with Judge Ross, Emmy nominated for Outstanding Legal Courtroom Program.
So then the question is, how is it that she fell short, so whereas you had to repay the client $7,000 and some change, and you want the $2,000 deposit back?
Because
how do you prove that you're entitled to that?
Because what would you hire somebody as a kosher consultant for if they're not holding it to the highest standard? It should be completely kosher, and I was unaware of those guidelines.
The problem is you're trying to convince me that she didn't do all that. And what I'm saying to you is you have to prove it. And based on what you've provided me and the evidence and all the testimony before this court, the gavel has to come down in favor of the defendant. Your matter's dismissed. That is the order. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
You live and you learn.
Well, it was really nice working with you, but I do think that you could have perhaps given me more information about your client, and perhaps you could have asked your client a few more questions.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.